Matt, do you have the metrics to share?
I can shortly.
Okay, that's all I'm really going to talk about. So
great. All right, welcome everyone. We are here today for the February meeting of A.P.M.A. I will call the board to order with our mission statement. Appleton Public Montessori seeks to nurture the full potential of every child through the presence of the Montessori philosophy in all learning environments, encouraging intrinsic motivation and instilling a love of learning now and for a lifetime. So the meeting is called to order. Matt is taking attendance, our secretary, and I will share the agenda so everyone can see it. I will call for universal approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Hearing no objection, I will approve the minutes from last meeting. I will ask for a universal approval of today's agenda. Hearing no objection, I will move to approve today's agenda. Matt, we do not have any guest speakers this evening.
That is correct.
Okay, so we will move to the administrator's update. Cassie, you have the floor.
good evening, everyone. I'm just going to, Matt, do you mind sharing your screen with the metrics? I'm just going to go over the metrics we've been gathering to make sure that as we move forward through the different phases, we are doing it on target. And that has been the case. There is nothing at this point that's slowing us down. And it's been going pretty well. You know, the first phase we really looked at and worked on some of the mitigation strategies. And then the second phase, we, you know, were able to work on helping the students now figure out the routines and become those leaders for this last phase. And you know, we've been able to maintain our physical distancing and our masking, and everybody has been working on the things that keep us safe. So you can see here, we're looking at our sub failures. What that is teachers or staff who cannot come in, and then there's not a sub that comes in for them. And what we added to this document is also, so when people can't come in and there's not a sub, we try to, you know, we problem solve and figure out who can cover for them. So what we did add is when we weren't able to cover, so you can see that there. Then we have the absences for students who were in person, those who are in quarantine, and those who are virtual. If you don't mind just scrolling up a little bit, Matt, or down. Then we wanted to make sure we looked at glitches that affected our instruction. So you can see last week we had a couple glitches with Google and iReady, but otherwise there hasn't been any glitches. Our iReady results are coming in, and our PAMorama results are coming in next. The first phase, we did get some feedback from families that some of them expressed some needs to come in sooner than later. So we were able to work with those families and make a plan. Again, it's a compromise for everybody. And then finally, we have not had any closures, classrooms or school-wide. So we are on target to start March 1st with phase 4. And in that phase for E1 and E2, all students will be in person who want to be, and who want to remain virtual will be virtual. If families are interested in changing their mind, they can do that by tomorrow. And then as always, please reach out to me if you have a different decision past the deadline. You know, I'll work with you as you need it. So those are the metrics we're using at this time. If there are any questions, I will take those.
I have a question, Cassie. So if someone wants to come back starting like March 1st, say they kind of test out the waters, for a week or two, they change, for whatever reason it might be, can they go back to virtual?
Yeah, so moving from in-person to virtual will be probably easier, so to speak, for staff-wise. And then if you remain in a virtual choice and you want to come back after March 1st, please reach out to me. We just are asking for about a 2-week transition period. But yes, you're right, Paige. We can work with you, and that's my intention, to work with all the families. I know that it's still different for every family for what they need. So we want to try to give you, we want to try to make you get, set you up for success for what you need.
Yeah. Okay. I realize getting into in-person is trickier than, I guess I'm just curious if getting out of in-person, that's probably easy, right?
Yes, that's easier.
Thank you.
Like logistically wise, it's easier. I mean, it might be there. I understand there's other conversations you need to have with your children, but logistically it's easier for the staff.
Okay. Okay.
Other questions? Cassie, I have a question. I know that last month there was some needed volunteers to cover lunch and recess to relieve some of the staff from those duties. Were you able to cover those needs a little bit better this month?
So far, we haven't had any volunteers who have solidified that they're going to come in. So we're still in need of volunteers, and it's about 11:10 to 12:10. So it's an hour of your day. And I'm willing to take you for a half hour, or I guess less would be a little tricky, but a half hour or an hour would be very helpful.
Okay, thank you. And please do let us know, are there any other needs like that you are aware of that the board should be aware of in terms of materials or other kinds of volunteer opportunities?
Not at this time, but we will definitely let you know.
Thank you. Any other questions for Cassie in terms of our metrics? Great. Okay, Matt, you can release that sharing. Cassie, did you have any other updates to make from your end tonight?
No, with the staff not here, I was going to do the staff update, so I can do that now, or we can wait till it's typically on the schedule.
We'll do typically on the schedule to follow form or process. Is that process or form? We'll move to steering committee updates. Let's see, I just wanted to make a call for applications for the 21-22 board. Sarah Scanlon will be the president. I'll be moving to past president. There are a few open positions on the board, and we really are doing a call out to those folks who feel compelled to want to engage and serve A.P.M. through A.P.M.A. And I know that I think I speak for almost everyone here that if you have questions or want to know a little bit about being on the board, I think everyone here would be happy to answer those questions from their own experience. So you can reach out to any of us. The application is on the A.P.M. website, as well as the A.P.M. Friends page, and also it's gone out in a couple of the newsletters. But you can also contact any one of us and we can send you to the application. This also is a special call to anyone serving on the board currently. If you are interested in moving to steering, the board bylaws do suggest that those who serve on steering have served on the board previously. So if you're thinking about that role, I really do encourage you to apply for a steering position. That also being said, if you have not, if you're a current board member, there is a required board evaluation document that we ask you to fill out every year. So if you have not yet filled that out, please do so. at your earliest convenience. It does help us make the board run better next year, and also lets us know which open positions there may be. And finally, an update from steering. We created a task force for the handbook. It was one of our steering committee goals, and we needed to move a little bit quicker on that. And we thought that a task force subcommittee could tackle that easier. So Dan Skripczak is heading that. Our first meeting is Saturday at 1 to 3 p.m. If you're interested in attending, please let Stephanie, Dan, or Sarah know. And also, if you have just specific thoughts that you want to head our way about procedures or processes that you think would work better, if they were outlined more clearly in the handbook, we would encourage you to send those. In particular, we're looking at adding a section on communication protocols and board onboarding. So what it means to bring a new board member on to the board and to kind of involve them in the education of what it means to be on the board quickly and effectively. So if you have any thoughts on that, please send them to Dan or myself or Sarah. And the vice president is unable to be here tonight, so we'll move to the treasurer's update. Dan, you're muted.
Trying to share here.
Letting you share.
Thank you. So can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously we don't have month-end balances yet, but we're sitting, with the exception of the last large reimbursement, which hasn't cleared yet, we're sitting, we've had very little movement. You can see the balance on the savings. We continue to move the $150 over every month from checking over to the money market. We continue to receive regular contributions from a number of parents and matching from their employers. And we've had a couple of expenses already this month for the geocaching event that E&E is doing in connection with diversity and inclusion. That's really all I got. Questions for me?
And questions for steering. I'm sorry, I forgot to pause in mine to ask for questions. So overall, Matt.
I got a quick question, Dan. Have we heard about the Facebook matching thing? Because I got like a notification, I guess because I donated to it.
Okay.
I was wondering if you had gotten any sort of.
I haven't. It's not in the treasurer email either.
Okay.
I can reach out. I'll reach out to Jeremy and see if maybe that was somehow connected to his email and see if he's been getting emails to that
Yeah,
effect.
maybe. Sarah, did you set that one up?
I set up the event, but I'm not really sure how the funds come in. I did receive that same email or not email, but notification that you got, Matt.
Yeah, if I remember right, last time it took a long time for it to show up, but when I got that notification, I thought maybe they had streamlined their thing. So I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, because that note seemed new. I don't remember getting that note last year.
Okay.
Right.
Can you forward me a copy of that note? Is that something you could send me?
It was just a notification. It wasn't anything I could.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of it. I'm looking at the A.P.M.A treasure box, and there's nothing in there from Facebook. And I didn't receive a notification through my own personal.
Dan, I can look and see if I can try to screenshot the notification.
It'd be helpful just so that I have some direction of where I'm going here.
Yeah, I'll take a peek.
Thanks.
Well, good. We've given you a puzzle to figure out, Dan. I do remember it taking an awful long time to show up last year. But it might be worth just kind of poking around and seeing what the timeline should be for that donation. All right, wonderful. We will go quickly to committee updates. Cassie for the staff.
Well, as you know, Children's House has been working on their orientation for the last 3 weeks. And I mean, just like having all the kids in, it's been really amazing getting students in the building. And we've gotten to see our 4Kers. Next week is 5K all day. So they'll be tired at the end of the day, but we appreciate that. E1 is finalizing their United States research and presented their final project, a state poster to their classmates. They are now working on the study of Africa, and they're working in groups. And they will also begin afternoon social group meetings for both in-person and virtual students so that they can connect with each other. E2 has also begun a large group project. They've been working hard to find facts on Mexico and Central America, along with writing reports and creating projects. It's been nice to have more students in the classroom, and they've begun to do a read aloud for students, both in person and virtual, which has been fun. And they look forward to the last group coming March 1st. I do want to just mention that tomorrow there's no school, but Monday there is school. So the rest of the district doesn't have school Monday, but we do, which is a part of the beautiful autonomy that we have as a charter school, but just wanted to have that reminder. And then, excuse me, sorry, especially for our Children's House students, you know, for those parents who are dropping off or picking up, just to remember to remind your child to be cautious and wait till your car comes around before they start. And all the adults are working on making sure the students are safe, but to be practicing and talking with their children about how to get out and get into the car safely. So those are a couple shameless plugs at the end there.
Let's see. And quickly, our community committee.
The biggest thing is thinking about, and it's not for a while, but I want to get input on Teacher Appreciation Week. That's my biggest project, I guess, coming up. Obviously, we'd be happy to support the geocaching event that's coming up too. But yeah, the teacher appreciation thing, Leah and I had budgeted at like the biggest line item for our budget last year because they deserve it. So any ideas? We have some thoughts, but we are open to hearing what other things people would like to do.
Great, thank you. Diversity, Inclusion, and Access Committee.
We are working with the other committees and putting the finishing touches on the event that is happening next week, the Navigating Together Geocaching. So yeah, I think Heather and I are going to speak a little bit tonight. I think we have everything we need for it. It's just a matter of getting it put together and out.
Wonderful. E&E.
Pretty much geocaching. That's it for now.
And get your yearbook photos in, right?
Please, please, please do.
You don't want to be making that the last week in April? Okay. Facilities.
Yeah, sorry, I need to get my pictures in for my kid. Facilities. So we're kind of still working on brainstorming thoughts for the outdoor education area. I spoke with Maureen today. I guess she's sort of the go-to person. So she and I are going to have some back and forth about it. I would love for more teacher input about kind of what we can do out there. We're a little hindered by our current climate conditions. But the other thing that we have kind of on the back burner is revamping Jenny's space / the whole sort of entrance area. I sent some stuff to our facilities group. So maybe we can talk about that further. So we're sort of in limbo right now until we decide, like, you know, where we want to focus our energy and our money. So that's where we are.
Thank you. And resources.
Yes, so we've been working on movie night fundraiser. We do have it cleared with the park for June 12th, which is a Saturday. I'm waiting to hear back from Kona Ice, but it sounds like if that date works for them, it's a 30% goes back to the community of every sale. So I've been working on that. We also have the Tom's Drive-In fundraiser coming up. That happens at the Meade and Wisconsin location on Monday, February 22nd from 4 to 8. Tom's is going to donate 10% of every order. However, you do have to mention Appleton Public Montessori. So if you go, please make sure you mention our name. If you want to go and hold a sign out by the drive-through asking everybody to do that, I'd be eternally grateful. And then lastly, working on silent auction, I've sent some things out to steering members, asking for some help. Thank you, Matt, and Stephanie, for your quick replies. I will respond back to both of those. But if the community in the meantime has connections to any business that they think would be willing to donate to our silent auction, or if the community is willing to put in some volunteer time or make a donation themselves, please contact resources at fundraising, A.P.M.A. at gmail.com. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. I think that's it. As a reminder, upcoming events, Tom's Drive-In fundraiser, check off Monday night meal planning, and the geocaching, which can you remind everybody publicly of the 3 dates, Michelle?
Let me get my calendar so I get them right here.
I'm sorry, I put you on the spot.
It is Thursday, February 25th, Friday, February 26th, and Saturday, February 27th.
Wonderful.
And any times that the park is open, families are welcome to go.
All right. Any questions for any committee members? Matt?
I just want to put in a pitch for the board. This was a weird, uncomfortable, sometimes strenuous year, but especially for people who are new to the community, like usually it's fun and a great way to make friends. Most of the people I know from being on the board, you know, besides my kids' friends, parents, or whatever. Like, it's usually fun. Like, I signed up to paint the teacher's lounge and fix the playground. You know, I didn't know I was going to be making these huge decisions, and there's going to be all these weird misunderstandings. Like, that's not what it normally is. It's usually a lot of fun. So don't let this year scare you away from signing up for the board, because next year I suspect is going to be a whole lot closer to normal. So that's my pitch.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Yes. I really have enjoyed being on the board myself. So, all right. Even if it means I have to call for an adjournment and then run down to my basement and click off the live video field. That's always fun. So I will
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you. I will call for unanimous consent. Hearing none, I'm off.